Alright, guys. Sorry for the delay. Apologies. I was in a trade. I still am, but I'm holding a much less size now on FRAN. And just delayed because I want to go over the watch list. I don't want to be overly distracted by a trade. Usually I don't trade at this time, but I did see a little opportunity there on FRAN for some downside for a short. So I did take a smaller short position, up in the 980s region, risking that 10. I did take one trade on it, got stopped out when it broke over 10. Then I saw the high volume stuff, and you guys see here over 10, huge volume stuff. Then I reshorted, and I just covered most of my position here in the 930s, just holding 1K shares, and the target on this will be probably like 9, 10. So probably throw some orders out, right here on FRAN. But besides that, let's dive into the watch list. And I don't have a short bias on FRAN at all. I'm definitely looking for some possible longs today if it sets on up. But like I stated, my reasons why, just looking for that parabolic short on FRAN there into that $10 mark. Actually, let me just watch FRAN here because I may look to cover at like 920s, 910. I don't want to hold this thing into open because I don't even have a short bias. So it's just looking for this pullback. Very overextended there on the chart, as you guys could see. All right, I'm gonna throw some orders out here, 920s. Let's see if I can get filled. All right, I'll let is 920 are coming close to open. Is bouncing a little bit here. I'm just gonna look to get out into the next wash actually on FRAN. I don't like holding it to open. Really unpredictable. You could have, chat pumps move this up. Spike it over 10. I don't want to get caught in anything. So definitely want to get out of this before the market opens. So apologies, guys. Just bear with me, and then I'll go over the game plan for today. So next wash here, I'll look to get out on FRAN for some profit. Let's see, FRAN trying to get filled here on the bids on 930s, 938. I'm put myself at. Come on, FRAN. Now you guys can see this is a very, very strong stock on the long side. I don't advise any newer traders to short this at all. This will probably be my only short on it. I'm probably be looking for longs after this short. Come on, one more wash. I can get out of this thing. And that's how it's a strong stock. When you can't get filled short. So when you're having trouble getting filled short, there's just so many buyers that you kind of know that all right, this thing is extremely strong right now. It can't even get filled out of it. Yeah, look at that. I couldn't even get filled there. I'm just gonna stop out here. So I'm just gonna stop out. I don't want this thing to spike and get towards my entry. So I just hotkeyed out of that. 950s and All right, that puts me up 500 bucks in the day. So little padding to start my day off on this Tuesday. So one for two so far on my trades. That first trade I lost about 300 bucks, and that second trade I made about 800. So all out of that thing on Fran. That's and it's just a nightmare short. And that's why I don't want to fight on the short side. You guys can see it's extremely strong. So I won't be touching Fran any more short. We'll all be looking for longs. And now let's go over our game plan. All right, cool. Awesome. All right. Let's go over the game plan, pull over level 2, and we'll get started. We got about 7 minutes, so we'll go over a quick plan. Let's see, CANF coming back up to 290s. I don't really have a strong bias on CANF. FRAN, I'll go over my reasons why I think this is a good long setup today. Alright, pulling over the level 2s, and we'll get started. Alright, sweet. Alright, level 2s are over, and pull over the chart and we'll get started. Apologies about the delay this morning. Alright. Alright, Fran, what do we got here? First thing that jumps on out of Fran is this 98% institutional ownership. That is extremely high on FRAN. So there's going to be big hands, big institutions at play here on FRAN, and that is something you do not want to fight short on Fran this morning. You guys could see, yes, I did short. You may be like, Nick, like, what are you talking about? You just said, don't look for shorts. We took a short. Okay, yes, guys, I did take a short on it. It was into the parabolic, had a very tight risk. The risk reward was there. I was thinking we get this little bit of a pullback, and we did. The trade worked out in my favor, and I'm not touching this short again. So don't fight this short, guys. Extremely strong, very, very high institutional ownership. Now, what do we see next? 42% short float. So this thing's extremely crowded with shorts. So what does that mean? When shorts see the stock's up 80%, they're going to be running out the doors, getting on out. So you guys can see very, very high short float. Half of the people in the stock right now is short. So you can see this morning those shorts are getting blown out. So we have a high institutional ownership and a very high short float. Those are very, very bullish signs for the stock this morning. Next, what do we have? High baseline volume. This is extremely, extremely high volume for a $7 stock at the time. We're doing 50K baseline volume bars. That's even good if we had a $2 or $3 stock. So volume requirements are there. So you guys could see, when it's that initial spike going up, I was trying to fill a long year. 650, 660, trying to get filled. I was thinking about hitting the ask, but I didn't. Hindsight's 2020, but now I'm saying, I should have hit the ask. I should have just chased a little bit, but I didn't. I was being disciplined, and in this case, it kind of bit me in the butt, and it ripped without me. Once it broke over 8, I was like, I can't chase now. I'll wait till open, and it got extremely overextended on Fran. I do hope this thing does have some does have some sort of pullback for us at open, so we can look for a long. But back to the factors. So I said we have high baseline volume. We have a low float. Under 3 million in float stock here. Yahoo, I believe it was 2.2 million. So we have a under 3 million in float stock. So it's very low. We're doing just overall good volume on the day. We already rotated the float almost. No, we did. So we did rotate the float already in pre-market, which is very, very nice on FRAN. What else do we have? Very nice daily chart. You can see here, nice ascending triangle pattern, breaking over $5. Looking overhead, we have no overhead resistance at all. This thing has the sky to run on FRAN. Looking back, no volume days. You can see this maybe some 500K volume bar days there, but overall just has no overhead resistance on FRAN. So tons of bullish factors here. on FRAN this morning, and we have a earnings catalyst as well. So yeah, what are we gonna look for at open? Obviously, we can't be chasing up here in the $9. No one should be buying long up here. This thing could easily pull back to 750. So don't get caught up here. Chasing. I'm sorry. Sorry about the Nightbot. Uh, sometimes it will ban you if you say certain things. I gotta fix that. Apologies. So if you guys are writing out tickers, maybe just write it in lowercase just for now, because I think it does delete anything that has caps. But shoot, we have 2 minutes. All right, so FRAN, this thing could definitely pull on back, and we don't know where this thing will pull back. Pull back to. Pull back to 750 and hold there. It could be $8. So it's just up so high that we can't really choose and pick a level that we think it will pull back to, because it could easily pull back to 750. It could easily pull back to 720. Or it could pull back to 850, hold there. So we kind of got to let it play out, and see where it starts to base, see where it starts to consolidate, and then see where it starts to form some higher lows. But I definitely want to see a short trap form before we start going from there. So I'm going to let this one play on out. I'm not going to be buying it open. I want to see consolidate. I want to see it pull back first, and then we could attack from there on FRAN. CANF, and we don't even have time to go over it. I don't have a strong bias on it, but if anything, you could look for a quick parabolic short into open if volume's weak, or if we get a weak open curl higher lows, we could look for a possible long trade on it. So CNF, will kind of let it play on out, and Cool is my other watch. So KOOL, is the day 2 pattern for a short. So that one's kind of on short watch. So all right, market is about to open, and we are open here, and right out of the gates we have FRAN, over $10, 1030s now. So doing really good volume out of the gates. A 300K bar for a $10 stock is very nice. And it's going even more, tons of volume out of the gates there on FRAN, 1040s now. Let's see how CANF looking. KOL is my other watch. Wow, look at FRAN, 1070s. So this one's not giving us any pullback. Look at that volume out of the gate. It's a 600K bar for a $10 stock. That is massive volume. So we were trading massive volume this morning on FRAN. Matt, if it sets on up, I could definitely look. I'll definitely look for a long on it. But I can't be buying up here on FRAN. Let's see where our EMA lines are at. Our EMA lines are right at that $9, right at that $9 mark. So we could start to consider it. As it comes to low 9s, maybe upper 8s. We could look at it there. Corey, nice scalp on FRN. Yeah, if that's your guys, that's you guys like to trade. You're a scalper. Go a scalp for it. Go attack. That's your game plan. For me, this is not a play. I'll be looking to scalp, especially up here. But if it comes back on down to my levels I like, I could definitely go look for a long then. CREG, I do believe, is this a Chinese? No, looks like this is Colombian. I was thinking this maybe it's a Chinese play, and we saw CREG. CREG is a China name. China names like to run in packs. So when you see one Chinese name go, you see other ones run with it as well. Just a quick tip that when you guys are shorting front side, make sure you have front side cover. So what I mean by that, if you're looking for a parabolic short, you don't get greedy on it and wait to cover at like $9. So make sure you have front side cover. Like my trade, I had short 980s, boom at 930s. I wasn't looking for a pullback all the way to 7. Because it's on the front side of the move. You're fighting against the trend. So when you're fighting against the trend, you have to have front side covers. CNF really weak volume out of the gates, so no volume on that one, and no pop to even get short on CNF. Same thing with KOL, no pop, so no short. CREG, not seeing it on the scanners here on CREG. AVEO, that wasn't on watch this morning on AVEO. If I could give it a quick look, I'll look up at CREG as well. AVO, let's see what we got going on here. So yeah, this one is a gapper. Float's pretty high, 160 million. So you have a little bit higher in float there. Institutional ownership, not bad. Looks like this one got over $1. Now back at 90, so we'll see if it gets over $1. Consolidate on AVEO. Float's a little bit higher for me though. Check out Craig real quick. Craig, another one. Sub $1 play, 50-cent mark. Just gonna have some overhead resistance here. It did go on a previous spike. Coming out to actually the exact levels of that previous spike. So this is a key level here, 50 cents. You have some shorters trying to short into this prior day resistance. So just to keep that in mind. All right, let's see. FRAN getting this dump. Very nice. So perfect. This is what we want to see on FRAN. We're not chasers. We're not here to chase. Here to buy at support and not buy at resistance. At least that's how I trade. Alright, let's see. 960s. Alright, so the next area of support. Pull over my big chart here. It's going to be our EMA lines here. So $9.30 to $9. This is where our EMA lines are at. Let's pull up a 3-minute time frame. It is pretty extended here. Let me see what the 3-minute time frame is looking like. The 3-minute time frame, our lines are way down here. So you guys could see, it's definitely possible we could bounce at 9, but at the same time, it could easily crack lower. So this thing's so extended that it's very hard to pick and choose our levels on FRAN this morning. So honestly, the safest bet would be wait for it to consolidate, wait for higher lows to be formed, and then you could look to attack from there. But if you guys want to try to time this dip, you can if you want. Am I going to do it? Probably not. What I mean by that, let's say you think it's going to bounce at 9 here. Could look for 910s, 915s, 920s with a tight stop. But it's just much harder to do when we have this wide of a range this morning. It'd be much easier if we had clear-cut levels. Some mornings we have clear-cut levels. Let's just say FRAN was at like $8, right? Opened at 8. You could see this clear support here at the 720 mark, and clear support here at the 670 mark. So it'd be much easier if FRAN was at 8, opened, pulled back to like 730, $7. You could be like, all right, there's clear-cut support here. This is a key level here. I'm gonna look to buy off this support, this structure here. But you can see we're up, so we're extended so far in FRAN that it's very hard to tell, where this thing will bounce at. Let's see CNF. CNF little pop there, but you can see how light the volume is on that pop. Probably gonna get shorted down here in CNF. We'll see. Got you, Victor. We see Craig. I see it at 53 cents now. It's up on the scanners now. Just for me, you guys know this. I don't love the under $1 plays that much, but I definitely have noticed the past few days we have been seeing more of those plays start to run. This is a really weak pop here in CNF. May look for a possible short on it. On CNF, I did take some short there. CNF 314. Tight wrist, very tight wrist there on CNF, but it's very light pop here. If it breaks over like 320, I'll stop out. So very tight risk. These are these low risk, high reward plays on the setup. So see extremely weak pop there in CNF. You want to see it back under 3 now. Let's see FRAN. FRAN's starting to consolidate a little bit here. So let's see CNF. This thing gonna break over. If it does, we'll stop on out. As you can see, FRAN looks a little heavy here. All right, so let's see if FRAN's gonna get this stuff move here. Excuse me, I'm at CNF. FRAN back at $9. So first target on FRAN will be like 290s. And you could look for the rest, 270s, 260s. So first target will be 290s on CNF. So I'll lock in the green. Let's see if we crack here. Coming down to it. A lot of selling pressure. Let's see. Come on, let's come on CNF. Let's crack 3. Let's see, FRAN right at our EMA lines here. I know I am in CN. There we go, perfect. Nice. All right, so CNF, I did take some there at 299. So I did lock in some there. If it comes back on up to my entry, I'll probably break even on the rest just to protect myself. That's how I like to trade. I like to take partials, then trail the rest at my stop. And FRAN starting to curl a little bit here on FRAN. This definitely could be a wash, trap, and squeeze pattern here on FRAN. All right, so CNF. Since I'm in at 314, I'll probably give it actually to 320. But even if I do stop out at 320, I'll still be a green trade because I did lock in there at 298. But I am watching Fran closely here for this curl. So watching Fran here. Here's CNF starting to pop a little bit. So if that breaks over 320, I will stop out on my remaining shares I have. But I did lock in half. Sorry guys, I'll answer questions once I'm done trading. But don't worry, I'll definitely answer every question you guys have. Just focusing in right now. So Fran, hard rejection there at VWAP. So we did see this happen. If you guys look at the last run that FRAN had, it did die. It had a huge pre-market move and then it died at open. You guys remember that? I'm not saying that will happen today, but sometimes history does repeat itself. So you could see here we had a huge pre-market move. So you could see lows, highs of 5. So you could see on FRAN, we did have the high day at 538, and the open was at 517. So you could see at open it just dumped. Because look at the look where it closed. It closed at 377. Right near the lows. So the last spike this did have, the last gap it did have, it did die on off. Is NSPR halted? Looks like NSPR got halted here. This is the former runner. So, keep this on watch, see if there's any sort of news catalyst here. But a lot of recent runners have just been chaff pumps. A lot of recent halts. Like, it used to be nice, like these 940 scanner plays used to be really nice, but a lot of them now are just chaff pumps, and when they open, they just dump. So we can see what's going on in SPR, but it's got to prove itself before I can even touch that. See if there's any news. They had news yesterday saying the provided a business update, and then they are presenting at H.C. Wainwright's 21st Annual Global Investing Conference. We'll see when that is. Maybe it's forward-looking news. So they are presenting today at 3:50, and between 3:50 and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So they are presenting this afternoon today. So is some forward-looking news. So when you have forward-looking news, you do got to be careful on the short side. All right, so CNF coming up here may look to stop out if it breaks over this 320 mark. I do see it's building some higher lows. Overall, the volume's weak on it, but if it does break over that mark, we'll stop on out. But so far, each time we come up, we have stuffed. But we'll see. Do have my finger on the trigger, ready to sell if it does break over. Alright, all out of CNF, all out of that trade. Was a green trade because I did take profits there at that 298 mark. But, it didn't work out totally in my favor, but it is a green trade. Now it's breaking over these levels, coming up to the pre-market highs. And you guys can see this market's just been very tricky lately with these shorts. If you guys see, a lot of my recent trade on the short side have been very tricky. CNF, it's a pretty weak volume, move. Overall, the tape was very light. I was thinking it was going to stuff move here and then just be a fader because, a lot of the tension was on FRAN, and, it got this initial pullback, met our first target, and then, it did stop out in the rest. Yeah, so on that trade, I only made like $200. Wasn't a huge winner there. So it does put me like up like a little over 700 on the day. It's definitely possible. You can still see CNF, fade on off. Just the volume is just not convincing me. The tape not convincing me on CNF just yet. That could definitely change, but so far this is not convincing me yet on CNF. So am I gonna try again? Probably not. I could, but I already had one trade on it. I don't want to push it. I find going back to the well too many times, you'll get burned. But this could definitely fade back on it from here on out. So let's see. Let me look over to FRAN. I haven't been focusing on FRAN too much. I was focusing a lot on CNF. Alright, so CANF, let's see. If you guys go pull up the chart from, NSPR open here, let's see. NSPR halted again. So 2 halts in a row there in NSPR. Is there any other news? I know they have that presentation at market close, but I'm trying to see if there's any sort of other news, any other catalyst that came out today. So you guys can see FRAN just looking extremely heavy right now. So there's no reason to look for entry right now on FRAN. Wait for it to prove itself. Right now, it's looking extremely heavy. The volume's decreasing, struggling to get even over $9 now. So wait for it to build some higher lows to prove itself. This could be a possible long later on today. It's possible. Right now, that's the price action's not telling me, giving me any signals to long right now. As much as you guys, I say this all the time, but as much as you guys can be bullish on the stock, as much as we are bullish today on FRAN, high institutional, high short percentage float, very nice daily chart, great volume pre-market, great volume right at the open. But now price action is telling us otherwise, that it's not going to confirm to our thesis. So until price action confirms, there's no reason to get on in. Right now, we do have a lot more attention over on NSPR. It's 2 halts in a row. Waiting to see if there's any news catalysts. And there's a double top there in CANF. So CANF starting to double top. You could see 325 stuffed twice. Did give it a second go there on CNF. Giving it one more go there at 315. Risking the high a day. Smaller trade. They just put in a double top there. At 325. You guys can see that. $325, stuffed twice. So I am risking that resistance level there on CNF. Right, let's see NSPR. I do want to check out NSPR and see how this looks at open. CNF, I am short at 315, small size, only 3,000 shares. FRAN starting to curl. FRAN starting to curl here. I snuck up out of nowhere in FRAN. May go small versus 9. So I did go small there versus 9 on FRAN. Did add a bit more looking for this push. We'll see if we'll get it here on FRAN. I'm being a little cautious, but I do want to see this thing start to curl a little bit. So right now I'm in at 935 on FRAN. That's my cost base. Cost basis. See if we get the curl. Let's see if we get this curl here. Do want to see it hold $9 on any pullback on FRAN here. CNF, nice little flush there on CNF. So right here, Fran, we want to see it hold $9. You don't want to see this below 9. If you hold above 9, well, it's gonna make shorts a little uneasy. I'm sure a lot of them start to hammer in below 9. So if we could hold above this $9 mark and base above this, I definitely think we could see a squeeze back on up. Let me cover some of my CNF position. I'm gonna cover 1,500 shares. Come on, Fran, let's get this push. We gotta clear 950s. We clear 950s, we'll be looking pretty good. So first targets on Fran could be like over 950. So if we do break over 950, could take some there, depending on where you're in, obviously. Make sure you guys have your own game plans. Yep, still holding CNF. I didn't cover actually any there. I was going to give it some room. Alright, so come on, Fran. We got to hold this $9 mark. We got a base at 9 here on FRAN. Just the tape's still looking a little weak. We gotta hold here on FRAN. We need to see those bidders come back on in. That we saw all pre-market. All pre-market, we had a big buyer buying this thing on up. We gotta see him coming back here on FRAN. Nice. Honest, I'm gonna give CNF. I'm gonna cover some below 290, so you get this wash here. Cover some below 290. Beautiful job on CNF. Very nice. Just covered some there. 288. Nice fader. You guys can see that. Very nice. See, perfect double top right. That pre-market resistance. Got chopped up once, but it was a small paper cut, so I was able to get back on in and ride this thing down. So really happy with that trade on awesome. Let's go, Fran. Come on, Fran. Get this push. Come on, Fran. So we got a push there on FRN. Let's see if we can hold these 930s level and start the curl. Looking a little weak here on Fran. Let's see if we'll hold 9. Alright, I did have to stop out there on Fran, guys. Did crack that $9 support. It may hold, but I have to stick to my stop. So it did take a little bit of a loss there on FRAN. So they take a little bit of a loss there on FRAN. Wow, NSPR. That one really gave back its gains. Look at that. Probably a chap pump that halted it twice. Yeah, FRAN getting crushed now. So FRAN getting smoked. Stop losses hit. And, a lot of longs are running for the doors there. You guys can see, this is going to happen, guys, You're going to take losses, here and there. It's part of trading. We liked FRAN this morning. We liked the institutional ownership. We liked the short float. Just had this massive pre-market move. We tried to, play this curl back on up. Tried the base over 9. We played it. It's a nice little pattern here, but it just didn't work out in our favor today. And nothing we could do about it, but move on. Trading's a numbers game. This pattern, it's a good pattern I like to play. Yet maybe it was a little bit more overextended than I like to have been, but it just didn't work out today. Still holding some of CNF right here. See if you get a little bit more of a wash. I actually didn't get caught up too bad in FRAN. I hope no one else got caught up in that one badly today, but I didn't get caught up too bad. I only had 2K shares on it. So I gave back about 400 there. But then CNF put me back in the green. But CNF, I don't think I'm going to be greedy. So I think I may take here on the rest in CNF just to put me back in the green on the day. Put me up a few bucks in the day. Alright, so I just got out there on CNF, just like the rest of my shares. Alright, so I'm up about 350 on the day. Not a bad day. A little choppy on some trades today. FRAN was a little disappointing. Alright. Alright, that being said, actions died down a bit right now. I know you guys had a lot of questions earlier. I apologize. I was in a lot of trades this morning. So if you guys maybe want to re-ask those questions, I'll be happy to answer them now. And I did promise you guys I'll do a video today. So I'll try to record a video today and I'll get that posted by tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow, the latest the video will be posted by. So expect the video tomorrow, but I'll definitely record it tonight, and I'll see if I can upload it today. If not, I'll definitely get that uploaded by tomorrow. And we'll be on the day trading process. My process. What do I do each and every day to prepare myself for the day. So definitely expect that video. I'm trying to find a similar pattern because I definitely played watch trap and squeeze patterns. Similar to the FRAN one where we got this big pre-market move, came back down, and then curled, reclaimed, and squeezed. So I'm trying to find the example. I'm not finding it now. If I do find it, I'll post it later. But you guys can see here on FRN, we just couldn't get over that VWAP, VWAP mark. The pattern, just couldn't follow through here, and sometimes that that does you do run more of a risk, anticipating the squeeze rather than waiting for it to get over, pull back, confirm, and then go on FRN. But is what it is on FRN. It just didn't work out in our favor today. CNF, did work out. This one was a nice, is a nice fader, and so far is fading a little bit more now on CNF. So this one could definitely see 270s, 250s. But I just covered here just to protect myself, preserve my gains for the day. What broker do I use and how much is for trades? I use Centerpoint. I think it's $5.95 per trade. I believe it is $5.95 per trade. So FRAN, coming back on up. Usually when we see that pattern fail once, the odds of it happening again are a little bit less. Especially so soon after. If anything, maybe later in the day around 2 p.m. is a possibility. I just think FRAN was just so extended. From that big pre-market move that when it tried to form that pattern, it's just had so many just had so much selling pressure because it did have that pretty steep decline here from $10 all the way to 8, and then you had a bunch of longs probably unloading their position from pre-market into this pop. It just had a lot of selling pressure into that pop. Just couldn't have that follow through. I think that super extended pre-market move kind of hurt us a little bit. I feel like if this opened at like $8, pulled back to like 7, found support there, then curled, would have been a lot better. And that's why you guys don't want to go. You want to attack your share size accordingly. So if you see some things that you may not like, or this may not be an A+ setup, either avoid or just go smaller size. In my case today, I want smaller size. Smart thing would be to avoid. But you don't want to go max size every trade. It's not a smart thing to do. So play accordingly to the degree of the setup. Let's see what we got going through some of these top gainers. SPI, light volume, NSPR, big pump and dump there. CNF, beautiful fader, CNF. This was very predictable, very light volume pop, double top there. Nice short at 315, risking the high a day. Boom, nice fade. Wow, FRN, is FRN halted? Wow. That is crazy. That frickin' came out of nowhere. Look at FRN, it's insane. You guys see that? Oh, fuck. That is crazy, man. Came out of nowhere on FRN. Huge volume spike. Definitely those big hands in play there on FRN. Crazy right there on FRN. That is that high volume bar that we want to see happen, when it broke over 9 previously. This is that volume that you want to see. When we break VWAP, this is the right volume that you want to see. You want to see very high volume on the break of VWAP. Pull back, then enter. So I mean that I just don't like. Yeah, I didn't like that happening right there. I mean, it definitely could go, but I would have much preferred that see this exact move happen right here. So this is what I wanted to see here, but it is happening now. I mean, it could definitely keep going. We'll see if it's going to hold VWAP. Did hold on that first dip. This is this pattern that we were looking for. Just happening a little bit later and a little bit out of nowhere on FRAN. VWAP is at 932, so we want to see that level hold. If you guys like it, this kind of would be your area of entry, right around this 930 mark. Risking $9 if you guys really like it. Yeah, I did no entries from me on FRAN. Just watching it. Just watching it right now. Rob, don't do it again, man. I worked out this time for you. Congrats, but don't do that again. Nothing good's really gonna come out of holding a loser. That move right there was very came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. If you look at the chart here, stuff move here, just fading, low volume, and it did put in a higher low here, but this fade right here just wasn't looking good at all for longs. So I mean, doing that, you did kind of get a little lucky that this did happen, but once you put in that higher low here, this was a good indication of a reversal. I'll be honest, guys, I wasn't even watching it. I was not even watching it. Didn't even see this higher low being put in. Nice come to. Called out the 875 dip. Very nice. I mean, we did talk about this in the pre-market. I said, wait for it to pull back, consolidate, put in a higher low. And if you look all morning, this is the first higher low we did put in. Yeah, I just didn't happen to, I just wasn't watching at the moment there. Oh, I did call it? I guess I didn't even realize. But yeah, great job for everyone. Come to you to take that trade. Very nice for anyone who did take that trade. I mean, if you guys are in right now, you guys are asking. You want to see it base over 9 again. We tried this once. We tried this here. What happened? We failed. We broke 9. We'll see what happens this go round. This go round, the volume was much better here on the squeeze. But you could see we did put in some upper shadows right there, which is a little concerning. And you can see we're starting to put in these upper wicks here. It's not a good sign. But as long as it holds that $9 mark, it has some squeeze potential. Oh, really? Come to. I'll go back and watch it. 'Cause I don't remember saying that. Maybe I did. I may have. I don't remember. Anyone holding a CNF? Very nice fader. Anyone still holding that one? This was never a long on CNF. Never a long. Gotta do a better job of holding my shorts a little bit better. Well, we'll work on that. Oh, okay. At open, yeah. I remember that vaguely. I do remember saying that at open. Swing about looking for a dip buy around there. CNF 260s now. 260s there. Coming up to that 250 target, I did mention that 260s, 250s. But if anyone was patient on that trade, very nice. All right, let's see. It did bounce off 9. Anyone still holding FRAN? Let me know. Just curious to see if anyone is still in the play right now. I know a few people are. And there is the crack of $9. So tricky play this morning on FRAN. Just it's a little tricky this morning, you know. Pre-market was very clean, but it's been a little choppy here at the open. This is a good one for scalps though. If you guys are scalping this one, definitely see definitely nice. But as far as like a bigger picture move, waiting for targets has been a little bit on the tougher side. So right now, I'm just gonna grab a quick drink of water. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. All right, I'm back. All right. How did I know CANF was a short? All right, so let me pull this up. CANF. Let's go over the thought process behind this one. See, out of the gates on CNF, volume was extremely weak. Doing sub 100k bars. Now on this push, the volume was very weak. I do have here on E-Trade, this bar was 200k. I guess not every volume bar is going to be the same, but I had like on E-Trade 250k bar there. So it's a pretty weak bar there on CNF. On this volume push here, if this thing was going to squeeze, I was expecting much more volume. More in the 400k bar range on CNF. As we came up to 320, big stuff move here. Came back, pop, shorted that pop, risking that 320 mark on CNF. Excuse me, no, I got it in this bar, my apologies. So I got it in this bar. On this wash, it took some 290s. Came back on up. Small loss in the rest. Now this is where I got back in after I saw this thing double top tier, and you could see, also on weak volume at 200k bar, double top tier, reshorted, 315 again, and I rode this back on down on CNF. And I did have some other traders told me this morning that news was a little sketchy, and there was some dilution there in the filings that they could look to tap into this morning today. So I did add some conviction to the short side thesis on CNF. So combining that with the volume and the price action was also weak. You watch the tape on it, pretty weak in my opinion. Volume was also a little lackluster, and like I said, combining that with the info that I got from other trader, I leaning more towards the short side today on it. But I definitely would have took a long on this if this had the same move. This volume was much higher. Came back on down, held here on a stronger volume, and the tape. I wanted to see the tape look a little better. Then I could have looked for a long on it. But alright, it is 10:30 right now. I'll probably give the stream maybe another 10-15 minutes or so for some any last questions. mean, FRAN, I still wouldn't even take this short. As much as the tape looks so heavy right now, you know, it's just that 98% institutional ownership and that high short float, you know, just makes it very tricky. You know, shorting anything with high institutional ownership with a low float is, you know, it's just kind of asking for it. So I mean, stuff like this is just I wouldn't say predictable, but it's not shocking to see something like this. You know, you're gonna have a lot of big players in the stock on FRAN, so you know, shorting this, just be very careful and just, I mean, hey, if something like this happens again, I mean, kind of asks for, you know, shorting something with a institutional ownership like that and a float like that. So you want to avoid the short side on this one, even though the price action is telling you that it's looking weak. You still gotta look at the bigger picture of things and see that yeah, there definitely could be some you know, bigger hands in this play. I got a few questions here. A little tired this morning as well. Let's see. How do you determine if the volume is streak or strong or weak at open? You know, I have a volume analysis table where I kind of know what price, what float goes with what goes with what volume. So for what was it? CNF. If this thing would have pushed like 500K bars at open, I would have been very hesitant to you know, to start getting in the short, but it did do under that 400K number that I would have hesitated to you know, get on in. So I was pretty confident with you know, of being okay with taking a short here after this first pullback. And I have that for you know, each stock. So for a $9 stock, I have volume analysis for an $8, $7, $6, and the float matters too. You know, if it's a higher float, you know, the volumes have to be a little bit higher for, you know, to be a long. You know, and you know, if you guys are asking, you know, can you share that with you? No, I can't. I'm just kidding. No, no, you know, I could share that with you guys. You know, I could maybe share that table with you guys if you guys want to see it. Could definitely do something like that. But if you want to track it on your own, that's, you know, it's great. You know, how you do it is just see what plays squeeze, right? So, for example, RKDA, big squeezer, right? I remember off the top of my head, RKDA, when it broke over VWAP, did over 1 million in the baseline volume on the 1 minute chart. That is extremely high, and I think it was a $3 stock. So look at the volume there on RKDA. It did extremely high volume on that breakout. So you know, just keep tracking. You know, track the biggest squeezers, track the biggest runners, and see what type of 1 minute baseline volume they do, and just put that in a journal, and then you could go from there, and they'll give you a big edge. You know, trading's all about having an edge. You know, you want to have an edge over, you know, over all your traders. So I have an edge over most of you guys by having this table. So you guys can see FRN, more trickery, you know, over under 9, you know, look weak, back over 9, now coming back up the view up. So a lot of games being played, and what do you guys notice here? Another higher low. So put in another higher low from this pullback here. So I mean, this is a tricky one. You know, each pops too is stuffing, each dip is, you know, holding. So a little bit tricky here on FRAN. So we'll definitely see you know, what happens here in this play. And it's tough because the price action looking weak, but you just have big hands, you know, moving it up. I mean, if you have a play like this that's conflicting factors, maybe best to avoid. you're kind of conflicted. You're like, oh, the volume, the price action is looking pretty heavy, but it keeps holding. It's putting in higher lows. I don't know what to do. Best to just avoid. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just sitting out of it right now. No, you don't have to attack and trade every play. But if you guys are dying for a play on it, I mean, I would probably say you could risk off like that 880 mark. You could do that, but it's just really choppy. It's just really choppy on FRAN. I don't know if this is gonna go up or down. So if I find myself saying I don't know if it's gonna go up or down, probably best to avoid. Curry. Oh yeah. I'll think about it, guys. That is some pretty secret stuff right there. So I mean, it is giving away a lot. It's a big. It's like the secret patty of my trading. So it is giving away a lot. I'll think about it. I do give you guys a lot anyway, so I'll think about it. No, Rob, I'm not married. Yeah, I'm only 20. And no, I don't have a girlfriend either. I'm single. I gotta focus on trading. I can't get into any relationships right now. I feel like when you're in the grind mode, I gotta avoid stuff like that. Drew, you're saying don't give away the chart? All right, I guess I'll keep it to myself for now. But maybe down the line I'll definitely share that with you guys. But I guess for now I'll just keep it to myself. And it's not even like super secrety. I mean, anyone can make a chart. I gave you guys the exact formula to create a chart. It's not hard. I'll go over it again. Take notes. Go go over every single squeeze, and you guys could do this. You have Thinkorswim. Go look up every single squeezer for every single price, and just jot down and take the notes on what was the 1 minute volume on these plays? What was the 1 minute volume on the breakout? What was the baseline volume that it was trading during this consolidation phase? So I mean, you guys could make your own table yourself. So it's not extremely hard. I'll say it again. Trading's all about creating an edge. You want to do everything you can to have that edge over other traders. So I would probably say maybe 1% of traders have an analysis a volume analysis table. I'm in that 1%. I want to be in that 1% crew. It's gonna give me an edge. What's going on, Alex? Hope you had a good trading day. People are divided here, Alex. I told you about my volume analysis table. Some people want me to share it. Some people are like, nah, keep it to yourself. Actually, a lot of people are telling me to keep it to myself. So I was kind of leaning on the side of keeping them to myself right now. Maybe down the line I'll share it. I don't know how you feel about that, Alex. No, thanks, Drew. I appreciate that. If someone listening to some of the things I say, I appreciate that. Try to give a lot of hints as much as I can, every day. Yeah, come to saying to keep it, so now I'm 100% keeping it. And that's the final straw right there. I got, Drew saying it, come to saying it. Those are two OG members, so I gotta keep it. But alright, it's getting a little late right now. Morning's kind of coming to an end. FRAN just chopping around here. No direction at the moment. So I'm not going to be getting involved with that. Maybe this afternoon. If you guys are going to be here this afternoon, I'd prefer FRAN much better around like 2 p.m. If the chart sets on up, definitely look for a 2 p.m. play. But I'll probably give the stream another few more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. Schneed, maybe. I could do something like that, like a secret giveaway. Someone wins a giveaway. I can maybe share some of the hints of the chart. No, I don't really go off sectors. I just go off the biggest squeezers. So like, I want to know what the biggest squeezers did. So I want to go back in MBOT, right? MBOT was a massive supernova, right? So I want to go to MBOT. I want to see what volume. All right, did 30. No, I don't think that was that. Was this the big run? Yeah, that was the big run. So you see MBOT. I remember off the top of my head, MBOT was 1 million in float stock. So it's still 1 million in float stock. It did 37 million volume that day, right? So I'll jot that down. I'll say, all right, 1 million in float stock, did 37 million volume that day. And then I want to go back and look at the 1 minute chart on that day. And if you have Thinkorswim or you have Dow Trader Pro, you could do that. You go back and look at the exact chart and see, all right, what type of volume did MBOT do? How was the baseline volume looking at open? How did it look in the breakouts? And I'll jot all that info down. So then when we get a play like today, I don't know, like CANF, right? Perfect example. MBOT $3, CNF $3. So, all right, I know MBOT was doing 1 million bars on the breakouts. What is this doing on key breakouts? And obviously each breakout will be different depending on the emotional, the how much volume it did. So obviously it'll be different scenarios. So it's kind of hard to say this breakout was as impactful as an MBOT breakout, but putting that aside, we could see this did 300k on a VWAP reclaim, while MBOT did 700k. Just stuff like that, So you kind of compare and you say, like, all right, this thing, what, CNF, traded 5 million shares. Out of the open, the volume was weak, the tape was weak, and just had that look of a fader. Just had that look of a fader. Shneev, I really appreciate that, man. Thanks. I try to give you guys as much as I can for free. I even told you guys, how to create the chart, and there's just certain things that I like to keep to myself, but I gave you guys a blueprint on how to make your own chart. So, you guys could, go do the homework. Go do it yourself. But I'm definitely gonna keep the chart to myself right now. Maybe down the line. Flow rotation could be any. It could be after hours. It could be pre-market. It could be open. I have a scanner right here. Just tells you every stock that's rotated its float. So the float on CNF is 1.3 million. You can see here it's rotated about 5 times. And when you guys improve too on your volume analysis, it also helps you on the short side too, not only the long side. You could see weak volume and you could see fade potential. So you could see certain stocks that have potential to become a fader. It's something I'm actually working on now. I'm trying to implement the late day fade strategy into my trading, but I just need to calculate some more volume into my charts and see more examples of all right, this 5 million of float stock was doing 20 million volume at 2 p.m. and this one faded. Well, this one was doing 40 million and it was trading below VWAP and then it got over VWAP, then it squeezed. So just stuff like that, I'm just trying to work on. Always trying to improve, always trying to get better. I've only been trading for 3 years. I know I could keep getting better and better. So just doing a lot of things, just keep improving. I don't want anyone thinking here I'm not learning. I'm learning by doing this, by giving you my thoughts, by talking to you guys every day, talking to you guys in Discord chat every day, just improving my skills, getting better and better. But all right, I've done a lot of talking this morning. Not seeing any more questions. Good, Curry. You're taking notes. Great job. And you guys can go back and watch the live replays on any of these streams. So, good job for taking notes. That being said, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream. It is almost 11 o'clock. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Appreciate the support. I'll be over in Discord. And I'll see you guys here back again tomorrow first thing. Peace.